interior designer, and I've sort of ventured into doing some things with timber, getting off the computer, enjoying working with timber. One of the things I'm making today is a light fitting from pine, which I'm going to do in a Japanese style for a Japanese restaurant in Melbourne for a friend, a shop fitter of mine. And he was quite surprised that I actually could make some of these fittings because he couldn't find anyone to make them. So I put my hand up and matched the price, and I thought I'll just see how I go. So I've cut up all these timbers, X90 by 35 pine. I've cut the knots out of them, so I've pretty much got to select nice grain running for them because I want to get a nice simple grain, nothing too knotty. In fact, I don't want any knots at all in preference. I'm going to be staining them up later in a walnut stain, but before I can do that, obviously after soiling them, I've got to now plane them. I've tried electric plane. That left skip marks. I was going to invest some money into buying a thicknesser, but all the things that I read about thicknessers, they're screamy, noisy, really not big on the noise. It's quite nice being in a workshop where you don't have that much noise. It's quite nice actually. I'm knee deep in shavings, beautiful shavings. I really love them. They kind of, looks like I'm a woodworker, which is kind of part of the vibe. That's probably being the designer in me. But it's hard work. It's hot today. It was hot yesterday, then it's very humid today, so I'm really sweating. As you can see, obviously I've been grazing on the high paddock, and and I've got a little bit of excess there that I don't really need, and probably it's damn good exercise for me because I'm raising a sweat. Currently I've got a cold at the moment, which doesn't help, but I reckon I'll probably by the end of the day I'll have burnt the cold out of me. But I've got my Lie Neilson plane. It's a 7.5, number 7.5. Don't know if you're familiar with these planes, but I bought this from Carpetech here in Melbourne. I got convinced to buy it. It's quite an expensive plane, but it's beautifully made. And the best part about it is it's so lovely and long and dead straight. And when I plane the timbers, I'm getting such great results, beautiful straight lines because of this plane. So I really highly recommend this Lie Neilson plane. It's got a beautiful blade on it. I've just previously just sharpened it, which you can see when you can see by the curls. Here, this lovely tight curl, which I believe is a sign of a good sharp plane by getting these wonderful tight curls. I really like them. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I've got a lot more timber to do, and I'll be knee deep in them. I might bag them up and take them down to school for their craft department or something so they can have a little bit of fun. And a lot of the scraps from my offcuts, which I've cut, I'm going to take down to the primary school as well. Like lots of staves of timber, which the kids can use up. I'll chop them up into some nice little lengths so the kids can make some little art projects or something like that. And pine's pretty easy, it's pretty light. It pretty much glues and all that. I've just been finishing some projects with some jarrah and blackbutt. And that's just like steel compared to this pine. I picked up the pine and I thought it was made out of balsa wood because I don't really make things out of pine all that much. But on this occasion, because I'm making a light fitting that's going to be hanging up over the restaurant ceiling, I really needed to consider the weight. The architect specified that I should use KD hardwood. Well, when I weighed up the two pieces the same size, KD hardwood is double the weight of the pine. So when we start to make up the light fitting, which is approximately 900 by 400 by 400 high, plus it's got the 3mm acrylic in it. I'll show you a sample corner of what I've just made before. This here is the sample corner of the style that I'm making. It's got acrylic on the inside, it's got acrylic underneath, the light comes through the acrylic underneath, and the light comes through here. You can probably best demonstrate it by seeing how it comes through using this lamp. But I've then got to stain them, but first of all I really needed to have sanded them, or that's what I thought. I needed to sand them until I started to plane them, and I'll show you how easy the plane is, even though it's hard work and I do raise a sweat. It's pretty good for me anyway as an exercise. people spend a lot of money in the gym for about the amount of work that I'm about to do today. Of course I'm sure I'll feel it tonight, and typical of me, I'll probably crack open a bottle of wine to soothe my aching limbs and muscles that I knew I never had. But here we go, this is how I'm doing it. See, 2 passes, 2 beautiful curls coming out. Plane's just beautiful. I mean, it's so glossy and smooth. And there we have it. Beautiful piece of timber. It's come up absolutely fantastic. It's so good. I really like the texture of timber and the feeling of timber in my hand, and it's just a wonderful feeling. But it's come up fabulous. I don't have to sand this now, so I don't have to process it before. Besides, I don't have the noisiness of the planes. It's quite nice. When I'm finished videotaping this, I'm going to put on some music and get into the rest of them all, because there's a fair bit to do. I've got a few light fittings to do, and there's a lot of this stuff to do, so it's very therapeutic, but I'm loving it. So, check you later.